Lucky lad then, David. See you at the supermarket. Come on! David! Let's go!
Does he often leave you like this?
Only if there's a really pressing deadline. At least that's the excuse.
What's the real reason?
The hang-ups of cohabitation.
A secret lover? Well, I must say, he does have that look of special promise about him.
And you haven't changed a bit, have you?
Come on, I must have done. Everyone does in 10 years.
Well, you still look the same. I recognized you as soon as I opened the door.
Just another dim model.
Oh, excuse me.
Come on. What's the real reason this famous husband of yours has taken off for a week?
Well, centenary window displays aren't exactly Paul's cup of tea. He said the cardboard cutouts made him nervous.
You know, you're very bright. I couldn't do this sort of job to save my life.
Rubbish. You had a lot of talent at art school.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
What have you been doing since? Oh, a bit more right.
Well, I've been married. Did you know that?
Married?
Of course. That was a while ago. I'm getting married again.
How super! Do I know who is he? Oh, not the millionaire you always wanted.
No. No, he's not a millionaire. And he's nothing smart like a crime writer. But he means a great deal to me.
Actually, he's a bit of a show-off.
But I find him very dishy. And he's excitedly weird.
It really is a 60-foot. Will you excuse me just one moment, please, sir? Your limousine is ready for you, madam. Hello, darling. You got me still some more of my drinks, if you like. I like your friend. Well, there you are, sir. I can't recommend her too highly, really. She's much more of a companion and a woman in many ways, and she won't answer you back. It's one of my more satisfied customers, sir.
There's a full MOT on this, is there?
Oh, indeed, sir. Need you ask. Need you ask, sir. Well, I hope you're going to keep that moustache, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Really goes well in that car.
Why don't you make me some coffee? At least you can't deny me that pleasure. And stop sulking.
Well, just keep your hands to yourself, that's all.
Morning, Mary.
Well, well, well. If it isn't the lovely Mrs. Peter Blaine to be.
Who's your friend outside?
That's Alexander Trimmer. He slithered out from under a rock one day when the mongoose wasn't looking. Do sit down.
Thank you.
Is Sherry all right?
Lovely. How long has Peter been here?
Oh, about 2 years. Place was a dump when he took it. Bad reputation and no trade. He built it up from nothing.
It, still doesn't seem quite you somehow.
How do you mean?
Oh, a nice little flat above a dozen used cars and some rather dusty plastic foliage. I thought you liked the better things of life.
What makes you think I don't?
What's this?
It's Munsters. It's a Continental car distributors in Hampstead. 200 models, staff of 10, and fresh flowers on the desk every day. That's where we're going next.
Can Peter afford it?
Oh, he doesn't have to. I'm giving it to him for a wedding present.
Well, here he is, sir. That's my one and only. Have a good morning. Peter Blaine, nice to meet you.
Steve Temple.
Yes, sir. Said you might be coming. Well, I just made 200 quid in 5 minutes. Can't be bad, can it? Oh, by the way, Anne, that stuff came through about Hampstead, the estimates.
Oh? What did they say?
Well, I don't know. I haven't had time to see it. Alex said he'd deal with it.
I see.
What do you mean you'd see?
Peter, I thought we agreed last night. Trimmer isn't coming
No,
to
all
Hampstead.
right. So Steve doesn't hear about all that, does she? I'll have some lunch.
It's good. Do you always have lunch here?
Well, it depends on the company I have. And speaking of companies, some of us have to do some work. Marco.
Yes, sir.
Have a bill, please.
Oh, and there's a phone call for Miss Molyneux.
Oh, that'll be Charles.
Phone's just over
Marco.
Yes, sir.
Coffee, please.
For 3?
No, just 2.
Right.
Marvellous, isn't it? Charles, only one of the best stockbrokers in London. You know how rich she is, don't you?
Anya?
Yeah, she's rolling in it. Her old man left her a fortune. At least a couple of 100,000.
Well, you're very lucky then,
What do you mean?
that she's back in your business.
Lucky, yeah. Well, yes, you could say that. Well, it's about time, isn't it? I mean, if you haven't made it by the time you're 30, you never will.
So the bill. Thank you.
No, Anne came along at the right time. That's all. Nice meal.
Oh,
It's very pleasant.
We must do it again sometime.
Yes.
I meant the two of us. You don't have to worry. It's very discreet here, especially in the evenings.
What about Anne?
Anne doesn't really like it here. See you.
I love you. No, Charles, not you. Bye-bye, darling. Steve, my dear, I'm so sorry it took so long. Did Peter take care of you all right?
Oh, yes. I'd say he'd taken care of everything.
Mrs. Temple?
Who the hell are you?
No, please don't be alarmed. I've only come to see you. My name is Harrow, Ken Harrow, and I'm a friend of Anne's, that's all. The man who was delivering some photographs said I could wait.
What are you doing here?
Mrs. Temple, I think Anne's in trouble.
She may not be the only one.
Yes, well, I'm sorry about that. Only I had to see you, you understand.
About Anne?
Yes.
Sit down.
Thank you. I'm her accountant. Have been for a year or so. That's how I got to know about her problem.
Problem?
A certain Mr. Peter Blaine.
Oh, yes.
I see you've met him already. Well, Blaine will stop at nothing to get what he wants.
And what does he want?
Her money.
Mr. Harrow, if you know this and you're her accountant, why don't you tell her yourself?
I've tried. She won't listen.
And you want me to help?
You could warn her.
About Blaine?
And that man, Trimmer.
Oh, Blaine's partner, yes, I met him too.
I haven't heard it all, you understand.
Haven't heard what?
Just rumors, gossip. I don't know, I haven't got those sort of contacts. Crimes, perhaps.
Well, it's hard
Mrs.
to...
Temple, we've got to stop Anne marrying Blaine, and I don't care how we do it.
You care for her very much.
I do, yes. I had hoped once upon a time.
Are you sure that you're not still...
Oh, no. No, Mrs. Temple, that's not fair. It really isn't. Anne can marry who she likes. But I'm damned if I'm going to allow her to be bled dry by a couple of cheap crooks. That I won't allow. Don't worry, I shall see myself.
So who needs music? And soft lights with a girl like you around.
You talk too much.
Well, as the man said, if music be the food of love, have yourself a ball.
Oh, blimey. Don't you ever have enough?
So can't you ever knock?
What do you want, Trimmer?
Your fiancé, if it's not too much trouble, to help me look for a couple of £100 worth of checks he's gone and mislaid.
They're in the desk in your drawer.
No, they're not. I've looked.
Shan't be a minute, love. You've looked in the desk, right?
Right.
What about the desk downstairs?
Yes?
Have you looked there?
Where?
Look, how bloody do you, Trimmer?
Look, I want those checks.
Look, I told you they're in the drawer.
Right, Peter. Have your row, but later when I'm gone.
There's no need for you to go just because he's come in.
Because I come in, because I want those checks.
Well, go on then. Master's calling.
Now, don't you stop.
Well, it's true, isn't it? He whistles and you jump.
So he should. I'm his senior partner, remember? In all business ventures.
All of them?
All of them.
You stupid bastard. That could have been 50,000 quid walking out that door.
Listen, I'm running this business, not her. She can put the money in if she likes. But after that, it's up to me what I do with it. Don't you forget it.
Sammy, I'd like you to meet Jock Andrews, Sammy Carson.
Well, hello. Splendid, darling. I think you've done a wonderful job.
Now, Sammy.
Oh, but sweetie, I just thought on this one, perhaps a touch more jewellery. She looks a bijou bit starker. You know what I mean?
Make a note, Sammy.
I think the fuselage could do with a bit of attention, too.
Sammy, you wouldn't be referring to the lady's chest by any chance?
That's not what I'd call it, but you get the message.
The rest are marvellous, marvellous. I'll start taking the first batch now for me. Oh, no, sweetie, let me do that. I mean, that's ever so definitely man's work.
You don't tell me I'll burst. Did you find out anything?
Yeah, they're a couple of villains, all right. They've been working together about 5 years. A couple of years ago, they got together enough money to buy this second-hand car business after Tillery went bankrupt.
Well, that doesn't sound very criminal.
Now, there's Trimmer. He got 3 years for housebreaking.
Ah.
Yeah, with violence. Plus a couple of other bust-ups he didn't get done for.
Gooey, darling. Want to be an angel? Ever so lightly now. Don't hustle or bustle.
Sammy, do you think they're crooked now?
Oh, they're in the business, all right, but they're crafty with it. They do this car switch routine. You see, they buy up a suitable wreck, then they nick a car of the same type and switch the identification mark.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I've been talking to Charlie Finn. He nicks the cars for him, so he ought to know.
Gooey again. Next one,
Oh,
please.
Sammy, be an angel.
Here's little Lord Fauntleroy. Sweetie.
I wonder if Anne knows this.
Now, listen. You go telling Anne this and you're going to be in for trouble. If you want to do anything about it, tell Paul.
There's no need to disturb him.
Listen, if you go interfering, you're in for a lot of bother, I'm telling you.
I don't think I am.
I know these fellas.
So come and help.
No.
Sammy, do you want bother from me?
No quarrelling.
Morning. Don't tell me you're coming to buy a car.
Not really. More to see the man who sold them.
Yeah, that's nice. I'm flattered.
Well, don't say you're surprised to see me after that rather tempting invitation.
No, I won't sound surprised. No, come stand. Well, actually, I'm free tonight.
What about Anne?
She's busy.
It's funny. So's Paul.
Was this the logbook you were looking for?
Eight o'clock, then.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, I'm sorry about tonight, Anne, but look, well, I got 3 cars I got to see. Yeah? Yeah, well, it'll take all evening, I'm sorry. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, won't I? Yeah. Yeah, all right, then. Yeah, bye.
You stupid idiot. You out of your tiny mind or something?
I know what I'm doing.
You really think a woman could keep her mouth shut? Any woman?
Well, what's it matter if she does talk? The more you make a bird jealous, the more they cling to you, Hank.
Sort you're used to, perhaps, but these are different.
Look, it's a one-night stand, that's all.
No, it's not. There's 50,000 quid at stake. Now, you ring the Temple Bird up now.
Well, ring her up. What are you talking about? She's only just gone, hasn't she?
Apologise. Say you owe it to Anne. Lay it on as thick as you like, but you cancel that date. Go on, do it.
Well, here's to our night out then.
Here's to my night out. I'm sure the grower won't.
You know, for a married bird, you're very,
Forward? You never heard of woman's lib.
Well, let's make it, to absent friends.
Absent friends.
Looks good, doesn't it? The lettuce is very fresh. I grew it myself in the window box.
What's your game, Mr. Carson? I was supposed to eat with Steve.
Yeah. Well, I'm a sort of a surprise packet, as you might say. You see, Steve thought there was a couple of things you ought to know. Straight from the horse's mouth, as it were.
What sort of things?
Like what Peter Blaine and Trimmer are really like.
Go on.
They're villains, the pair of them.
You're expecting me to believe rather a lot, aren't you?
We're expecting you to believe it for your own good, Miss Molyneux. Now, that Blaine is a real screwball. You marry him and you're in for a lot of bother.
Mr. Carson, if you try and break us up, you might have a spot of bother yourself.
Brand it.
I have one later. If I may.
You may. Your place?
I'm not that liberated.
Well, there is, my pad, but we'll have to excuse the mess.
Try me.
Where are you going?
I just have a quick phone call to make.
As long as you're not going to phone your husband.
Peter Blaine, you surprise me. Do I look that sort of girl?
That wasn't the end of it. Next day he went back and asked for a pound of bananas in a bleeding optician. The only one who went back 3 weeks later, he discovered where he was and he got his glasses.
You're making it
It
up.
makes a good story, though, doesn't it?
Let's wait till we're inside.
All right.
Well, Anne, there you are. Do you believe us now?
I thought you said you...
Peter, what's the matter? Well, you won your bet. You know, I never thought he'd do it. Do what? Oh, Peter said he could get you back here any time he wanted. And I said, no, not Steve, I don't believe it. So, you bet me a $5, didn't you, darling? I can't think what would have happened if I hadn't been here.
Anne, I only wanted you to see for yourself.
See what, Steve?
What didn't Sammy tell you?
Sammy, who's Sammy?
Oh, that's another one of Steve's little surprises.
Anne, for heaven's sake, what's the matter with you?
Don't you know? I'm trying to get shot of an interfering little busybody who persists in thinking I'm marrying the wrong man. Do you know, she's so convinced she's right, she got some friend of hers to tell me a lot of dirt about you and Trimmer. She wants to break us up. Tell me Trimmer had been interested. Isn't that right, Steve?
Anne, please.
Go home. Go home and mind your own business.
Why won't you listen?
Isn't it obvious? Because I want to be alone with Peter.
Well, what a performance!
You haven't seen anything yet.
What the hell was that for?
For making a fool of me. I don't like it.
Well, you don't believe all those lies she's been telling you. I mean, we are still going to be married, aren't we?
Didn't she take in what you were telling her?
Yeah, she was listening all right, yeah.
What was her reaction?
Well, like I said, thoughtful. We went home all right, there's no doubt about that.
And why did she throw it all back in my face and in front of Peter Blaine, too? doesn't make sense.
She's got a reason, Steve.
What reason? Look, Sammy, if she marries Blaine, the only thing that'll happen is she'll lose £50,000. Now, she must see what Blaine and Trimmer are like.
Perhaps she does. It is her business.
Are you trying to tell me something, Sammy?
Yeah. Stay out of it.
Sammy?
I'm only telling you what Paul would say.
You have to talk with your mouth full.
Don't change the subject.
All right, so it's what Paul would want, but it isn't what he'd do. Now, there's something wrong, and I'm going to find out what.
You haven't got his weight and you haven't got his experience.
You are a friend in need, aren't you?
I'm only telling you what Paul would say. Look, leave it alone unless you've got a real reason for getting involved. Now, promise me, Steve. That Trimmer may not be Rocky Marciano, but he could cut you up something nasty.
All right, Sammy. Look, I've got to go. Andrews is coming for those designs. I'll see you.
Okay.
I left the door open, sweetie. I hope you don't mind, only I couldn't manage all those huge, great things otherwise. Oh, is that the gay 90s lot? Oh, Marty. Super. Him too. Yeah, I wonder how gay they really were. Hey, darling, who's your friend? Count Dracula?
What do you want?
I want a word with you. A word of advice.
I'm very busy.
I know exactly how you feel. People barging in where they're not wanted. Very nasty. Well, that's my advice to you. Don't stick your nose into other people's business. Or else.
Or else what?
Very nice place you've got here. Very artistic, as Peter Blaine might say.
Oh, here, careful.
Put that down.
Put it down. Of course. Okay.
You bastard!
Yeah. What a rough stuff there. Grab the purse and you trim it. Oh, get up. You all right?
What do we do now?
I'll get a bucket of cold water and bring him round.
Honestly, darling, your friend Sammy is too butch to be true.
You lying con man. Is this what you call writing a novel?
Chapter 6. Fisherman finds a body in the river. You see, I'm working on the plot from there.
You want to try telling Steve that? Boy, if she could see you now.
You sure she's not in any danger?
Not after what I've done to Trimmer, she ain't. You won't be going back there again.
Good, good.
Why, ain't you coming back with me?
Well, fill me in about this Anne woman and I'll tell you.
If you went to Steve's threatening her, you deserved all you got. Gutter methods may have been all right in the past, but they won't do now. Agreed, Peter?
Yeah, that's right.
What the hell are you agreeing with her for? I'm the one who makes the decisions around here.
Not decisions like that, you're not going around smashing someone's pad up.
Now listen, mate. You start listening to her instead of me, and you'll regret it. I mean that. Get her out of here.
I don't think she wants to go. Do you, Anne?
No, not yet.
So what are you going to do then, Alex? You're going to beat her up as well?
Get rid of him.
I can't, you know I can't.
Well, if he stays, I go. Me, our marriage, the new showroom, everything. It's up to you, sweetie.
Mary?
The only way to fish.
Paul, I wish you'd listen to me.
I'm listening to you, I'm listening. Steve know you're here?
No. And don't you tell her either. She'd kill me if she knew.
She'd kill me, too, if I went back there offering to take over.
So what are you going to do?
Stay here. I've still got Chapter 6 to work on, haven't I?
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't mean to say you can't do anything, though. How about playing Trimmer and Blaine at their own game?
Okay. Don't tell them I sent you, just sell it to them. Whatever they offer you, take it. You got the idea?
It'll cost me a bit carting it down.
I'll give you a tenner. That's the going rate.
That's when it's legit.
But this? 25. No questions asked. How about it? All right. Just make sure they buy that little beauty.
Hello, Mr. Blaine.
Hi, Charlie.
You said you got some work for me.
Yeah. Got a cigarette? I want a GXL 1600. J-plate, lime green, like that one there. And I want it as soon as possible. This afternoon, if you can.
If I'm lucky.
You always are, Charlie. When else do you think we employ you?
We'll have a drink then.
Look, I said no.
What's the matter? Don't you like being chatted up?
Not by strange men.
Darling, there's nothing strange about me.
You can believe your psychiatrist. I don't have to.
Which one is it?
Which one's what?
Well, the car, Sammy. The car I got a nick.
You wouldn't like to stand up on the counter and tell us all about it, would you?
I'm sorry, I'm nervous. I'm always nervous when I'm working.
Good, what you do working.
Well, which one is it, then?
Round the corner, pale green Cortina. Now go and nick it. Give it a gutsache, you're whining.
Yeah, tar.
Give us another one of them, Fred, will you?
Yeah, it's a really nice job, that, sir. One owner, only came in today. What more could you ask? Well, what do you think, sir?
I'll take it.
You will? That's fine. What will they be, then, sir? Cash or terms?
Neither. You see, this is my car.
I'm sure there must be some mistake, Mr. Arrow. Nothing that can't be cleared up without any unnecessary fuss.
Oh, no, there's no mistake. I realize, of course, you've changed the identification marks to match this logbook. But there are other marks on that car which I know about and you don't.
Oh,
I can
come
prove
now.
it's mine in a court of law, if need be.
Ah, now, listen, Grim.
Hello, Anne. You're just in time.
Oh, it's Ken, is it? Ken!
What's going on?
My car was stolen yesterday. This morning, I found it for sale down there in the showroom.
Is this true, Trimmer?
How should I know? Somebody comes in and sells me a car. How am I supposed to know whether it's stolen or not?
Doesn't it rather depend who you buy it from? I mean, there is a difference, isn't there, between someone like me and a known car thief.
Sorry. I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't you? We just set you up, that's all. A little trap. And you both walked into it feet first.
I thought that wreck was a bit too easy.
Shut up.
I'll have the logbook first, if you don't mind. Yes, well, that seems to be in order. And now perhaps you'd be good enough to take those stickers off my car and move it out of the showroom. Take no trimmer. Mr. Blaine stays here. You go move the car. You realize how serious this is? If I lay charges, you could land up in jail. However, I'll do nothing if you stay away from Anne. You do get my meaning, don't you? I had to do it, Anne, for your sake. If you marry Blaine, your money will just disappear. They'll bleed you dry, pound by pound, till you're left with nothing.
Perhaps.
And you must see that...
Oh, yes, I do, and I'm grateful. It doesn't change anything between us, of course. But I am grateful.
Let's go out somewhere, Anne. Somewhere we can talk.
What's the matter, Charlie? Aren't you pleased to see me? Here's a Scotch, will you, Fred? What about you?
Scarborough, will you?
What, on payday? What's the matter, you mad?
Look, Scarborough, will you? Trimmer's on his way over. He'd do me if he sees you there.
All right. Don't panic. I'll be over there in the corner chatting up that little blonde. Any bother, you call me.
Not you again.
Yeah. Well, you can't blame me for trying, can you?
Has it occurred to you that seat might be taken?
Yeah, I just took it. Now listen, I want you to do me a little service.
Oh, you want that sort of thing that's down the road?
I don't want you to do anything like that.
Well, what do you want, then?
A little bit of help. Like giving me the nod when Charlie boy there has finished having a conversation with a geezer who's coming in any minute. Oh, look, I'll just sit here, I won't say a word.
If you say so.
Hey, Mr. Trimmer. What do you have?
Usual. Large one.
I didn't know nothing about this being a setup. Honestly, I never touched it.
Shut up, Charlie. I've had a hard day.
As long as you don't think I was...
Charlie, it got the bird out of her hair, didn't it? However it happened.
Did that all right, Mr. Trimmer. Should have seen her face when she come out of the show.
Scheming little bitch. I'm better off without her 50 grand.
Why scheming?
Mind your own business. Your job's nicking cars, not listening to gossip.
Sorry I spoke.
Now look, list of cars here. A client of mine would like any clue for a little job next Friday. See what you can do, eh?
Oh, yeah, Mr. Trimmer. Might cost you, though.
Do me a favour.
He's gone.
Thanks, darling. See you around, eh?
If you're lucky.
Can I talk now?
Yeah, he's gone the tight. I'll have another one, please. This gentleman will play. Honest, he's as tight as a bloody revenue, that Trimmer, no kidding.
Is that why you don't like him?
Who said I didn't like him?
I did. You enjoyed setting him up at that car, Charlie. Like you had an old score to settle or something.
Oh, all right, so there is an old score. Still no business of yours, Sam.
Wait a minute, I ain't paid for it yet, have I? Come to think of it, I haven't paid you your money yet, have I?
I nicked a car for him on Blaine once. Bank job they did. Bloke and his kid was killed as they got away. Trimmer still ain't paid me for it yet, has he? Anyway, he's not only tight, he's stupid as well. That bird, Blaine's fancy bit up the showroom. He thinks he's got rid of her, but he ain't.
Anne Molyneux?
Yeah.
She been back there?
Not half an hour after you all left this afternoon. Spent 2 hours with Blaine alone, and they had a curtain storm.
What's known about her, Charlie?
How should I know? My job's nicking cars, not listening to gossip. You should know better.
You hear anything, I want to know, you understand?
Well, it depends, doesn't it?
I'll pay you, Charlie.
Pleasure working with you, Sam.
There's one more thing. This accident where the fellow and the kid got killed. Who was driving?
Oh, Blaine, of course. Does all Trimmer's dirty work for him. Always did. Yeah, Samuel, what I just told you about Trimmer, that it was in confidence, you know. I wouldn't want you to go putting it about.
Now, lose yourself, Charlie. This is important. Yeah. Fisherman's Arms. I'd like to speak to Mr. Paul Temple, please.
What did you want that was so important? To make an apology for the things I said the other night. I know you weren't doing it for my sake.
Then Peter didn't really win his bet, did he?
There wasn't any bet in the first place.
Then why pretend there was? And why ignore everything we've been saying about him?
Steve, there are reasons.
Well, I should hope so, after all the trouble we've been to.
By the way, there's one other thing. That business about Ken Harrow, you and Mr. Carson were mistaken. Peter was innocent. He didn't know anything about it. Trimmer was behind it all.
Anne.
It's true. I asked him about it yesterday. He told me everything.
Oh, Anne. You can't be so stuck on him.
I love him. You can't just cut someone out of your life like that.
So what's Peter going to do? Chuck Trimmer out? Oh, come on, Anne. They're as thick as thieves. Can you prove they're not?
Yes. I rather think I can.
Oh, welcome home. Where the hell have you been?
Inside, I want to work with you.
You what?
What's the matter? Are you deaf or something?
Here, get these off. What the hell's up with you?
Shut the door. I want you to sign this.
What is it?
I'll be to the solicitors. It's all in order. There's nothing you can wriggle out of Trimmer, nothing at all.
Now, what is this?
It's a deed. You sign it, make over your half of the business to me.
Make over what?
We're splitting up, Alex. There's only one thing wrong with that. It never happened years ago.
She put you up to this, didn't she?
Yeah, maybe she did.
Listen, without me, you're just a pretty boy. Posse front man. You'll never make it without
Like
me.
a bloody parrot. I'll make it all right. I don't need you anymore, Alex.
You what? Now, you listen to me.
Listen to you. I listened to you that day when you said, go on, drive on. I listened to you then, didn't I, mate? Mary, in here, will you? You got a picture? We don't want you anymore, Alex. I don't need you anymore. So sign it.
That's what you want, is it?
Yeah? That's what I want.
You'll regret this, matey. I promise you.
Right, Mary, now you're witnessing.
Where should
Hey, just...
You're mad. You realise that, don't you? You'll never make it without me.
Okay, doll, that's all.
You bitch. You put him up to this, didn't you? You and your friends.
Get him out of here. I think we all deserve a drink.
Of course. That document's just paper. You realise that, don't you? Paper never stopped me getting what I wanted. Here, take us down to the car.
Stop throwing your weight around. The business is mine, huh?
Business? Who's talking about a business? I can start another one any time I want. No, I'm talking about you. I've got some nasty friends you've never even heard of. See, from now on, you're marked. Like dead. Know what I mean?
I think you need this.
Tyler.
But shake him. Isn't that one of your cars?
No, it's all right, sir. This is Aaron. Then you're like a kill himself.
He really meant those threats,
All right,
didn't he?
leave it.
Peter,
I said leave it!
I'll see you at the restaurant.
Yes, Steve, all right.
You don't know what he's like when he's married. He'd bloody kill me.
Is that the reason you're afraid of him?
What do you mean?
Well, isn't there any other reason?
Yeah, well, he could make trouble if he hates me that much.
Maybe we ought to do something about it.
I don't know the police.
No, I was thinking of of a compromise, a junior partnership in the new business.
Well, I thought you wanted to get rid of him.
I just don't want you hurt, that's all.
Well, yeah, he might listen to that. It all depends how it's put, that's all.
Well, you better let me talk to him first.
No, he hates you, I'll do it.
Oh, I can handle him. You better see him later. Are you free this afternoon?
Yeah.
Well, that's all settled then.
You know, I don't deserve you.
Oh, go on. Just give me time to think about it. Go on.
Come on! Well, better late than never, I suppose.
Oh, sorry I kept you.
Well, the time wasn't wasted, really. Do you know I've worked out the end of my novel? All takes place under this bridge.
Good. I have some real-life mystery for a change. It's like I thought. Big setup.
With what at the end of it all? Another killing, do you think?
Wouldn't you?
Sammy, I think it's time I made my official return home.
Where are you going?
The garage. Will you see Stephen put in the picture?
Yeah, what about a lift?
I've no time. Try the river police.
Well, I asked him, wouldn't you fry him up again for me, because they've gone a bit cold, you know, but he said no.
What'd he say?
Oh, very little. But he wants to see you later at the Wreckers' Yard, Eddie's place. He said you knew where it was.
Yeah.
About 3 o'clock, all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Right.
Have a good lunch.
Steve?
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's all right. Miss Molyneux.
Oh, she's not here. She's gone to lunch with that friend of hers, Mrs. Temple.
You sure?
That's what she said, yeah.
What about Blaine, then? Where's he?
Well, he's gone to the Wreckers' Yard to meet Trimmer.
Do you have a phone here?
Yeah, in here.
Hello? Paul! Well, where are you? Oh, yes, I'm having lunch with her. Call the restaurant, see if she's there. Paul, All right. What's the word with you?
Hello? Yeah? Yeah, sure, yeah. Yeah, Steve can drive me. All right, fine, I'll see you at the Breakers' Yard.
Sammy,
Phone the restaurant and let's get going.
would you mind...
Steve, will you please hurry?
Trimmer!
For God's sake! Anne wants you back in! But I understand! The Trimmer! Answer me!
What? That's Trimmer's car.
Is it? Didn't stand a chance.
Poor bastard.
No, no.
I didn't think Trimmer would go that far.
God, no. Oh, no, no.
Anne!
Oh, no, no. He said he'd kill him, but I didn't believe it.
Trimmer didn't kill him.
But it's Trimmer's car.
Oh, yes. Everything points to Trimmer, exactly as it was meant to. Lane was driving the car that killed your husband and son, wasn't he? Is that why you involved Steve? You wanted to witness that Trimmer had a motive to kill him, didn't you?
My son was 3. Just 3. I loved them. They were everything. I had to kill him. I had to.
I think this will bring them back. In terms of justice, what you've done is every bit as evil as what happened to your family.
With one difference, Mr. Temple. He deserved to die. They didn't.
Mm-hmm.